Big Phil.
What's up, fellas? How we doing?
Awesome. You at home or the gym tonight?
Oh, I'm at home. The gym's too loud. There's no way to do an
Awesome.
interview at the gym.
My first question for you, man, is it Phillipe or Phillipe? Let's go ahead and clear this up.
It's Phillipe. It's Phillipe. It's an interesting spelling. It doesn't really show me some love. I'm constantly explaining what my name is, but it is indeed Phillipe.
Phillipe. And what does Phillipe mean?
Lover of horses, from what I understand.
Say word. For real?
Yeah.
That's gangster. I like that. You learn
Yeah.
something new every day, man.
Yeah. So
Ladies
I was named after a Dutch sailor, friend of the family.
Word.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah,
we would
little
like
history.
to welcome Phillipe Gentry, a lover of horses, to NFC NOW.
We can leave that part out, but
Oh, good, man. Hey, happy Monday. Thank you for joining us. Did you enjoy your holiday?
I did. Thanks for having me. We had a nice Christmas. It's still going. I got my daughter this evening, so we just did some presents opening a few moments ago, and the whole split family thing. So Christmas is still rocking. I heard a little bit of your show previously in Oblast. You actually have some other Jewish representation in NFC.
So, who else?
Shlomo, who fought.
That's right, Slow-Mo.
Yeah, and he's got the Star of David shorts, which are actually super dope. And then you had Evan Johnstone fight in your grappling event.
I didn't know he was one of us.
I didn't know he was Jewish.
Yeah. Oh, he represents strong.
Damn, look at that. And we had Rachel Seltzer years ago. So, yeah. But Shlomo Boyd versus Zach Cooper was the first ever Jew-on-Jew fight I've ever had that I'm aware of. Yeah, and I didn't even know Shlomo was Jewish. No one ever told me. I was sitting next to Dr. Traub for that fight, who Dr. Traub is also heavily Jewish. And Dr. Traub goes, I think Shlomo is Jewish. And I was like, no, he's not. And he's like, yes, he is. Shlomo's a Jewish name. And I was like, you're out of your mind. And then we did see the Jewish shorts. And I was like, holy shit, I'm wrong. Shlomo's one of us.
Yeah,
this is Jew-on-Jew crime. Yeah.
I think Zach wanted to put the shorts on the line for the fight that night. He wanted those shorts. So, yeah.
Unfortunately, he wouldn't have got them.
No, it wasn't his night.
But you do have your other guy. You've got Zach going against Walter Flores January 20th.
Yeah, it's going to be a great fight.
Yeah.
Zach works hard, man. I think he's one of those guys that when you look at his record, you don't realize how good he is. But Zach on point, man. He's an unbelievable fighter, skilled in every range, just a genius of the game. So yeah, always excited to corner Zach, man. He's a lot of fun.
And I've told people before, you and a couple others are a couple of my favorite gym owners. I have favorite gym owners that are at the top of the list, and then some not so favorite ones at the bottom lust. You're top 2 or 3. You might not know that, but you are.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
I was giving Julien a little rundown of SBG when you first bought in. I think to give people a history lesson, feel free to jump in when I mess up, but you bought Gary Brown's Eagle Kickboxing at one point in time. It was a small little baby gym, probably about the size of your house. Changed that into Gentry's MMA and Fitness, I think, or just Gentry's MMA, and then went from there to SBG Buford, expanded there into a larger location, and now just opened up SBG Atlanta as well.
Yeah, it's mostly accurate. So Mr. Brown actually had a partner, a silent partner, Paul Chambers, and so Paul and I were buddies. Mr. Brown was coaching me and striking for for an amateur fight, ISK title fight years ago, and that's how we hooked up. And then he was looking to do things a little bit differently than Paul and I wanted to, so I ended up buying him out, and that's when we changed the name to Gentry's. And then we ended up partnering up with SBG in 2015 and changed the name then, and then we've been SBG for a while now. And yes, Atlanta just opened, man. We've been open for 9 months, man, crushing it.
So before Julien hits you on a question, because he's better at questions than I am, in the business aspect, how did you guys even hook up to SBG? Because when anyone thinks of SBG, they think of Conor McGregor and Ryan Kavanaugh. Like, how did SBG and Phillipe Gentry hook up in Atlanta, Georgia 7 years ago?
Yeah, so actually it's John Kavanaugh, but
John Kavanaugh. That was close.
Yeah, he's Connor's coach and runs a phenomenal, just a gorgeous gym in Dublin. But yeah, and let's see, what was it? It was maybe 2000. I guess it was probably 2014, 2015. I had gone solo, so I kind of branched out on my own for business reasons, and Adam and Rory Singer, who you mentioned earlier, and was talking to Kevin, they invited me to this thing called camp. It was SBG camp, and at first I thought they were kidding, like, adults don't go to camp anymore. but they spoke super highly of it, and I have a lot of respect for those guys. So I ended up flying out to Portland with them and stuffing in a hotel room, the three of us, in a queen size teeny room. And was training with my coach now, Matt Thornton, and Chris Howder, and just a bunch of phenomenal coaches in Portland. And I just fell in love with the way their approach was to martial arts, and how there didn't seem to be a lot of politics, and just they were just people that kind of I could relate to a lot more, and was really excited about what they were doing. So I wanted to be a part of it. And they welcomed me with open arms, and it's been awesome ever since, man. One of the best moves I've made.
Yeah. So as I'm getting ready for this, I was doing a little scouring on the internet, man. I came across your LinkedIn, and it all started back with some real estate things, man. How does one go from real estate to gym ownership, man? I feel like there's a couple of dots that need to be connected in there.
Yeah. So I started training in 2003, and this is back before they had really beginners classes, or I guess they did kind of have a beginners class, but really they just threw you in with the wolves. And I was one of those guys who came in and got the break speed off of me, like many guys have in the past, and I just loved it, and I knew I wanted to do something in the jiu-jitsu realm for the rest of my life. Currently, and I was, at the time, I was bartending and getting my real estate license. And so I sold real estate for 8 years. Did a couple startups. Did an apparel company called Wicked Jitsu. Then I did what I still believe to be the best run tournament in Georgia, Ludador.
I'll agree. I agree.
And then I got, I had an opportunity. Actually, I was training at Knuckle Up, and they let their coach go. And I was the highest ranked guy there. Super convenient. It was right down the street from my house. And they asked if I would coach. And this was, I don't know, 2007, 2008-ish maybe. And started coaching and fell in love with it. Unfortunately, it was, most of the real estate that I was doing was in the evening. So I actually lost money by coaching. But I knew that was something that if an opportunity came up, that I wanted to circle around and explore a little bit. And so when the whole Paul Chambers, Mr. Brown opportunity came, I just saw it as a way for me to get all in on something that I really enjoyed doing.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, Phillipe Gentry joining us here on NFC Now. As I'm hearing you just explain that, man, it seems like you were just swinging, maybe missing, hitting some singles, hitting some doubles, hitting some triples throughout your younger years. Phillipe, you strike me as a very young man right now. Would you mind telling us how old you are?
43.
43, man. So it seemed like in your 20s, you were just figuring some things out. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a career entrepreneur. I've always worked for myself, whether it be out in real estate as an independent contractor or starting some business. But it's, my father's an entrepreneur. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. So it's something that I'm very comfortable with. It was just about finding the right thing and making it successful.
You found it. You made it successful. SBG, Buford, SBG Atlanta, one of the most well-represented gyms when it comes to NFC fights in the community, man. You've been doing this and training fighters. You're always in the corner. You're always there. You're present. Just in your time of training and owning your gym, has there been a pupil of yours that you've like really gravitated to on a different level?
Oh man, so many. So many. We've had a ton of great fighters walk through our doors over the years, back in the Gentry's MMA days and the SBG days. We've got some super exciting guys right now, and really a female that's phenomenal right now. Of course, we've got Zach Cooper out there in the mix. We've got a young come up, Phillipe, who just joined us. He's solid.
It's funny. I was going to ask you about him. He's fighting March 10th. I think we just got that locked down today, according to Weibo. Oh, shit. All right, so we'll avoid that part out.
Breaking news.
Yeah, man. We're trying to get him matched up, man. But yeah, he's a stud, man. Excited to see him go. The real exciting one right now is Amanda Masiosi. She did some NFC BJJ matches this year, and then got an opportunity to fight in LFA. Just won with a 20-second knockout. And looks like we're trying to get her matched up on a card maybe in February, maybe a little bit later, but she's in talks right now for another matchup. And she's incredible, man. I've never worked with anybody that is as athletic and really the work ethic. The work ethic is just unbelievable. The mindset's unbelievable. And it's hard to find somebody with the whole package,
Is LFA bringing her back out again for that February fight?
We haven't got a contract yet, but it's looking.
But that's what you're working towards.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's always interesting seeing how big promotions, and LFA is a bigger one, how they bring in fighters from out of town, like what their goal is in bringing a fighter back or whatever. But Amanda's very marketable. She looks the piece. She talks. She's good at talking as well. And, her fight did live up to expectations with the 22nd. I did watch it live that night. So,
yeah, it was awesome.
Phillipe, just fighters like Amanda, fighters like Zach Cooper. When you're in those corners, man, and like they represent SBG, the brand that you built ultimately. You know what I'm saying? You may not have built it, but you've taken it to this next level, man. You invest all your time. How does that feel for you, just being a coach, being the owner, man? Like watching those fighters not only grow as individuals, man, but also represent, what you put your life into.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm just excited to be a part of SBG. I mean, we're an international organization, does a lot of cool stuff on the Muay Thai tip, on the Jiu-Jitsu specific, and mixed martial arts, obviously. So for that, I'm just stoked to be one of the boys, and that's how I see it a lot of time. I mean, there's phenomenal coaches in SBG. And then as far as the athletes, man, it's exciting, in the corner, there can be some magical moments, but for the most part, the work is done. So, it's on the fighter at that point, and it's a front row seat, man. Occasionally you can say something to get somebody, get that fire relit and carry them into those later rounds. But, it's exciting for me, and it's kind of nerve-wracking too, because, if you're a fighter, you have control. It's all on you, and you've got to carry that stress into the cage. But as a coach, like, you have no power. It's everything that you could have done is done. And now it rests totally on the fighter's shoulders, so it's kind of the lack of control is a little nerve-wracking, but man, it's fun. You watch guys like, somebody we didn't mention was Josh Kozer, and he's one of the the most exciting fighters to watch. He's the only fighter that I've ever thrown a towel in for, just because that dude will go out on his shield. He is the epitome of a warrior. So man, I love it. I'm honored. We've got some good coaches too coming up in our organization. You got guys like Coach Pat and Alex Caruso and men who are cornering some of these Muay Thai guys. And you've got Sean Coleman and Wu handling on the jiu-jitsu tip and just putting out phenomenal guys. So, man, we got a squad of coaches that are doing big things, man. So it's really exciting time for us. I feel like it's the golden era for our gym right now.
I was going to ask you to tell us a little about the Atlanta gym, because I know you just opened that up, last April, May, something like that, I guess 8-9 months ago or so. And I know your numbers are already killing it out there.
Yeah, we opened in March, and yeah, I mean, we've got packed mats. We got Julien in the mix too, getting out there doing some Muay Thai work. There's room for you as well, Oblast, if you want to get it in. But yeah, man, we got classes morning, noon, and night, and like I said, incredible coaches, and we're just having a good time.
So you now have Buford, you now have Atlanta. You basically have Athens, because you're with Rory and Adam out there with the SBG Athens.
Yeah, they crush it.
I know it's doing a second fight or a third fight is difficult. How difficult was it opening that second gym, and how soon can we see you to open up a third or fourth or fifth gym, or what is next on your radar? Any thoughts to anything?
Yeah, this was actually our second go at opening a second location. We kind of did a friend a favor / stepped out on a limb, and we learned a lot the first go around. So we were able to implement a lot of that knowledge this time, and I think we did it right. But yeah, I mean, it was difficult. There were some growing pains, but fortunately, I got a good team of guys working with me, and to me, I think we're set up for success. We got a great GM in Atlanta, a great GM in Buford, and they run most of the operations, the day to day. And as far as what's to come, I don't know, man. We just opened this one up 9 months ago, and we got some ideas and some dreams and stuff, but a little too early to talk about them.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, Phillipe Gentry joining us here on NFC Now. Coach Phillipe, you've opened up gyms, but you've also competed in the NFC. You've also competed before the NFC, man. I feel like your last competition was against Guy Curry. How does it feel to just have a platform like the National Fighting Championship to not only send fighters, but to still get in there and show off what you have, your skill set?
Yeah, I mean,
you were our first ever jiu-jitsu main event. Just want to remind you.
Was I?
You versus Guy were show number 1, weren't you guys? I think so.
Maybe I don't remember if we were first.
You were first.
Yeah, but it was good. I think I think anytime you compete, you look back and you're like, man, I should have done this, I should have done that. So it's funny for me because I don't compete often anymore. I usually, like, nowadays I'll hop out there after a couple of years hiatus and just try to knock some of the rust off, or at this point some of the dust off. But man, we love the NFC. You were talking earlier that you're we're your second or third favorite gym, but you're
I only said top 3. I can't put numbers.
Oh, yeah. You can't? Oh, okay. All right. So
no, I was saying you are one of my top 3 gym owners as far as who I get along with most. We haven't played golf since we played a decade ago. We need to do that again. But yeah, there's some gym owners I say are very easygoing, very fun. We did dinner at your house. So yeah, a bunch of gym owners I love, and there's a couple I don't love. So,
yeah. No, I feel you. And the same is true with promoters, but NFC's top tier for us, man. You guys do it right. I think NFC cares about the fighters, or at least it comes across that way. And your matchmaker is unbelievable. You've got an incredible team. I talk about my team, but you got an awesome team. Charlene, your matchmakers. Just shout out to Jesse Wable. Jesse Wable's the best in the business, y'all. But anyhow, yeah, we're anytime we get an opportunity with NFC, it's all systems a go, man. We love fighting for you guys, and we love how you try out stuff, man. Like the quartets this year, or the tag team jiu-jitsu is pretty awesome. Stick with that. Like, I think
absolutely
the team still haven't figured it out yet how to do that competitively the right way, but I think we're getting there, and it's a lot of fun. It's fun to watch too. Yeah,
we've tried out things that worked, and we've tried out things that didn't work. We tried to do sumo at the last event. We put on the website and people to apply to sumo wrestling. Clay Bennett thought that would go over like hotcakes because he talked to a couple guys at his gym about sumo, even coming out in like the white shorts that they wear or whatever. We thought it would be a good idea. We even put a video on the website to show people what it'd be like, but then no one applied. No one wanted to do it. It was kind of
told Clay I was going to do it.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Then
I've never done a sumo fight. I was down.
All right, then we got one half of matchup then. Let's go find the other guy. See, these things just happen. So, yeah. And before,
but only if you get to wear the diaper. Like I'm not going out to wear shorts or anything like that. I want the authentic experience.
Yeah, we wouldn't do if it wasn't the diaper.
Yeah.
We were trying to get Nate Mann to do it.
Yeah, no, I'm not going against Nate Mann. I'm not going against. Is there weight classes to this? Is there?
I think there's weight classes, but
is there? Yeah.
Phillipe, here in the NFC, you know, we always, you know, we deal with a lot of different gyms, especially when you go to like a fight. You know, you got SBG, you got ATT, you got ATT Lima, you got Knuckle Up, you got this person, that person. Is there any other gyms that like you look at and out on a business sense, like, hey, I respect that?
From a business or from a competition? Because
both.
Oh yeah, I mean, as far as skill is concerned, man, there's a ton of good gyms in Atlanta. You know, Warrior is one. You've got, you know, X3 definitely on the business tip. I don't see a lot of those guys competing as much anymore. But you know, ATT is doing big things. You know, they're putting out a lot of good talent. Man, there's so many, man. There's some small gyms too that have some studs coming out of them. Yeah. There's a lot of gyms I have respect for, you know. I try not to look at other gyms and compare and like chase this guy and like, what are they doing? Because I think that's a trap mentally. So we just try to stay focused in our lane and crush it as best as we can. But yeah, man, there's a lot of tough competition, a lot of guys that have gone all the way, you know, you've got several guys that have gone to the UFC, several guys that competed on the top level. I mean, you've got jiu-jitsu gyms like Atos and, you know, and Octopus. Man, there's a lot of talent in Georgia.
A lot of talent in Georgia, a lot of gyms in Georgia. But what separates SBG from the others?
That's hard to say without really diving into that comparison game that I was telling you I try to avoid. I mean, one thing that we try to do and is really at the core of how we operate is we try to create a gym for everybody, you know. And I think there's a lot of people that say that, you know, they say that this is for everyone, but then the focus is really on the athlete. The actions don't necessarily align with the words. And, you know, I think we've created a class structure and a curriculum that supports everybody, regardless of what your goals are. I mean, the reality of it is in most gyms, you know, maybe 10-20% of the gym is competitors. And, you know, the rest of the people are there looking for other goals, whether it's community or just a different way to stay in shape or learn self-defense or what have you. So, you know, we put a lot of attention into that 90%, into that 80% of our membership base, and make sure that they're not just cannon fodder for the athletes, you know. And I think that combined with our incredible community, you know, we spend a lot of energy in creating events for our tribe, doing things like casino night and just fun kind of off the wall events. And I think that really at the core is what makes us who we are.
And I would co-sign that for sure. Every time I walk through the door, man, I definitely feel at home, whether it's Evan greeting me at the door, whether it's Coach Men getting me right in my cardio kickboxing class, man. It just everybody just sharing a smile, man. So definitely shout out to everybody at SBG Buford and SBG Atlanta. Shout out to you, Phillipe Gentry. Before we part ways, I do want your final thoughts, man. Something that you want to leave not only David and I, but the entire NFC community with.
Oh, a closing statement.
This is where you drop the mic.
Yeah. I wish I would have prepared something that was really prophetic or enlightening. But you know, I don't know, man. I think, you know, it's the end of the year, so there's a lot of reflection. And I think if you want to move forward and you want to grow, you know, you've got to look backwards and see what's happened and kind of see where you're at from what's happened. So for me, I just wish everybody an incredible 2023. You know, yeah, man, get out there and crush it.
Let me ask you one last question. Is your gym's open this week?
Oh yeah, dude, we're open right now.
So the ridiculous thing is I've seen a couple posts from like jiu-jitsu people, one or two in Atlanta, but a couple in Alabama and Tennessee on, hey, great year. We'll see you January 2nd or 3rd. Have fun on your time off. And I'm sitting there like, why are we taking off the last week? People just got fat during Thanksgiving. They just got even fatter during Christmas. And now you're closing down your gym for 2 weeks till January 2nd or 3rd. Like, I found it almost remarkable that a couple of jiu-jitsu gyms aren't open for 2 more weeks. Like,
yeah, that's not
that shocked me.
Yeah, that's not uncommon. I think there's a big difference between a lifestyle gym and a gym that's you know, run like a business. For me, I always think of lifestyle gyms as like, hey, I'm the gym owner. I want to compete. I want to do this thing. So I'm going to build a business around me doing what I want to do, basically. And so, you know, as a lifestyle gym, if you're the manager and the coach and the everything, then, you know, hey, I want a vacation with my family. So I got to close the gym, you know, whereas
and your gym is more of a family. There's a couple in Georgia that are like that, but your gym is very much like a family where everyone knows everyone. They all support each other. And if you would have shut down for 2 weeks during the holidays, they'd go ape shit crazy on you. I mean, you can't shut down your family from December 23rd till January 3rd.
No, absolutely not. And check it out. We're rolling in the new year this year. So at our Atlanta location, I'm opening up at 11 p.m. on New Year's Eve. We're going to warm up. We're going to set the clock, and we're going to start rolling until 1 a.m. New Year's Day. So we are quite literally rolling in the new year this year in Atlanta. Come check us out, Oblas. Come down.
Marketing. We got Dr. Hirosky on next. One black belt to another black belt with 2 white belts in the middle of them. If I can convince Doc Chris to go out there at 11 p.m. New Year's, I might go out. I might really.
All right, do it, man.
Phillipe Gentry, thank you for joining us this evening, brother.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.